of May on 2013. Super excited. This is the first time we would call this reading series the Pet Shop Book Exchange. We've been having readings here for a few months, and Pet Shop has also begun hosting Omaha Writers Group on Sunday afternoons at 5. And I really feel like this gallery has been a fucking awesome home for all of us who are trying to kind of create a poetry community in Omaha. Ben, Alex, and Jamie run this gallery as a workspace and then a place to show work on First Fridays. None of them are here. Ben's usually here all the time, and he's out of town. But again, they're awesome enough to let us in here, and I'm super thankful for that. So the idea of the book exchange happened. Paul and I were chatting on GChat, and just came up, and my idea for it is that everybody who's interested brings a book that they like or has been important to them, or maybe you just want to fucking get rid of it. I really don't care. Bring a book, and then when the reading is over every month, we'll hang out afterwards, have a few beers, whatever, and we can exchange books. If you feel like you want to do that, there are bookmarks that I've got made up in the front, and that have a little place where you can write the title, who you got it from, and who you are, so you can remember to give it back if they want it back. If not, that's up to you guys to decide. The crates of books in the front are mine, and I would like to start a collaborative library that is housed in Pet Shop and that is available for checkout anytime. There's no due dates or whatever. It's just write your name, the title that you want, and how I can contact you, take the book, bring it back some other time. That's basically the idea. I'm really excited about it. You guys brought books. I'm excited to hear about them afterwards. For tonight, we have 3 awesome poets reading: Teal, Alisa, and Lisa Lux. And super excited to hear about what they've done. Oh, good. Hey. Let's here. Maybe this way. Thank you. I was really excited to hear that they've been working together collaboratively on a long poem, because it just echoes the reason why I wanted to do this book exchange thing, to get all of us talking afterwards and exchanging phone numbers and emails and sending poems to each other and doing stuff like that. So they've got this long collaborative poem called Speak This Mouth Valley is a Chamber of Tongues, Stories from Bellwether Speakeasy. And they're going to do it all together, and we're all, those of us who'd like to, we're all going to help out at the highlights portion. So, welcome. Without further ado, let's Alisa, Lisa, and Teal. Let's do it.
I think that what we should do is anyone who's comfortable sitting on the floor in a circle should do that, so then we can leave some chairs open for people who are going to be joining us later. And we won't have to shuffle every time.
Questions before we start? What's going on? Get it?
Questions about this?
Or about
other questions for later?
If you could save your other questions for later.
So when it's highlighted, we all read it together.
Yeah.
And people are going to mess up, so don't be embarrassed. Please don't. It's going to happen.
Okay, you ready? Alright. The sanctuary's east wall is largely stained glass, largely yellow. The surrounding paint yellowed. Morning sunlight diffused but for one pane less than 1 square foot unpainted, which lets pass a blue-white beam. We think memory is the measure of immutability.
Like, if we remember it, it cannot change.
The light strikes a few and sharply turns.
Did I ever tell you about this bruised feeling under my breasts?
Short story.
Remember the time you got so sick you smelled like death and we were too poor to go to the doctor during a holiday and you kept calling me Mom on accident? And when I finally took you, your nurse was named Donna and you told her, you said, "Did you know Donna means both gift and woman? Think about that." You didn't know what you were saying, but you were right. It does. So I just smiled and took you home. Remember the time I put on that weird little dress with the hole in the armpit and was going to a party and I don't know, something happened and we loved each other again? So I stayed home and my roommate was gone, so for 3 days we lived on the fold-out couch in the living room watching Dark Shadows VHS tapes and fooling around. That was probably only about 8 years ago, but there are still things about that that are hard to understand today. Like how the only place to hear about Dark Shadows was at the shitty, dripping local video store where I worked, and the only way to watch it was with a VCR. You used to come hang out with me there, and one time there was this huge bug under one of the shelves, and it was making this horrible noise, and I couldn't look at it, but you said it was covered with tiny bugs, and it was either giving birth or being eaten. Probably both, I said. I was sad then, so I wore a funny hat and tried to be forgiving. I'm better now, but I guess I'm still wearing the hat. Someone the other day yelled,
"Hey, beautiful!"
at me on the street, and then became embarrassed, so I forgave him. Anyway, he liked the hat. I decided